Hello, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I am Eleftheria, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Bill. Bill is the founder and the creator of this community and the Volvox as a company. Hi, Bill. How are you?
Hey, it's surreal hearing it in that tone. I've been working on building Volvox for a while, so it's cool to see some stuff coming from it.
Amazing. Can you share a little bit about your background so everyone get to know you a little bit better?
Yeah, sure. I started programming when I was around 12 years old. I still remember the first YouTube video I was watching. It was just two text boxes with two labels and a button, and it just compared two strings, and if they were matching, then it let you in. If not, then they wouldn't let you in. So I still remember it pretty distinctively, so that's kind of cool. From there, I pretty much have always wanted to own my own business. I was kind of grown up that way in a business mindset. I started trading stocks at a very early age with my dad, and I've always loved the business aspect of things. Some people like dream of being like a football player or some type of professional athlete. I've always wanted to be a business person. So I've always saw
Okay.
that as my calling. So I've programmed there for a little bit. I did some stuff in high school with before Volvox was actually an LLC, and I came up with a couple of programs back in high school. I remember one that kind of went viral throughout the school was I don't know if you guys remember, but back when you had to download music, you had to go to like LimeWire and stuff like that, or like just Appster and things like that, and you'd always get viruses, or like the apps or the music would never have the correct cover art, or it would be like the naming and all this stuff wouldn't be filled in, like the album and stuff like that, and the artist. So I've created this app to kind of take those and filter it and make it into, number one, genuine songs. Number two, filled in all the metadata for the songs and stuff like that. And it kind of blew up in the school and everyone was using it. But then I had to shut it down because it was not legal. So I had to cut that. So I did a couple of small things like that. I've done bots for games. I was really big into World of Warcraft botting back in my high school days, like before 18. That's where I made all my money to buy my first car, was doing bots and selling gold for World of Warcraft and stuff. But yeah, I've always been super interested in technology. Mom still gives herself credit to this day. She always says, "Bill, we always bought you the latest and greatest technology because we knew this is what you wanted to do." So she still gives herself credit in uh in that aspect. From there, I went to college. Regrettably, honestly, I could have taught the classes better than I learned. So I pretty much just went there to make my parents happy. And I took my sweet time. I took 5 years instead of the standard 4, and I went to 4 different colleges. I used it as an excuse to travel because I pretty much said, "Hey, listen, if I'm gonna go to school and not want to go, I'm gonna do it my way." So I ended up going to 4 different colleges and traveling around the US during that time. And then finally graduated and ended up in New Jersey, where I'm from. I'm born and raised from New Jersey. I was out all over, and then I ended up back in New Jersey towards the end. I graduated from Montclair State University, which is as well in New Jersey. And I got my first job. It was at a company called Commvault right out of college. I actually didn't even have to interview. I just ended up meeting someone, and he had worked for the company in the sales side, and we got to talking, and they were running a promotion for let's get your friends hired. So he got like a nice bonus for referring me. I didn't have to interview. I just got the job. Like I literally went in. They pretty much wanted to see that I was a live person, and it took like 5 minutes, and then I had a job like the next week.
That's
Or
amazing.
the job was lined up before I even graduated college. So I started the job in February of like, I guess, 2018. I graduated in December of 2017. So I had this job lined up before I even graduated. So that was cool knowing that all my friends and stuff were like worrying about how what their next job is going to be. So I got really lucky there to meet this guy.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I've had a number of jobs since. I've been doing mainly contracting jobs in the recent. Not that I particularly prefer contract, just the fact that that's just been how it's been laid out. So I've been doing a lot of contract jobs, and so we founded Volvox in 2020. That was a culmination of people that I met in the Volvox learning community, which was founded in 2018. I met a bunch of people, out to Brian and Sam and Connor. We all became really good friends, and they ended up helping me run the learning community. And then we decided, or we had someone approach us and want to do a paid program. So I brought those guys in, and a few other people like Matt and stuff like that. And we got to making the company. So the Volvox LLC was founded in 2020, and we really didn't do anything with it up until about 3 months ago. About 3 months ago, I decided to leave my job and focus on my personal health. And then in turn, I realized that this is the perfect time to take Volvox on full time. So now I'm doing Volvox on full time. We have one product on the market, Sobers, which is a passion project for me. It's it's a recovery/sobriety companion application. And then we also have a decision jar, which actually just got approved earlier today by Apple. It's just this fun little app where you input kind of all the ideas that you have for something you want to do, but you can't decide which one to pick. And you just shake the jar where you shake your phone and it shakes the jar, and then it pops out. And then we have things like AI ideas where if you can't decide what to do, we could help you out, help you figure out some ideas. Because I always struggle, with what do I want to order for dinner tonight, And we have some cool features like if you pull something, then don't have that repeat again for the next 2 weeks. So if you're doing something like dinner, you don't want to do it the next day and get the same idea, right? So you could have it remove the idea, you could have it wait and have an expiration so that you don't get it again. Same thing with movie genres, like you maybe don't want to watch rom-coms 5 days in a row. So you can have it so it can have an expiration on how long until you can pick that one again. And then I'm currently working on it's still in the idea phase and a little bit of development, a medication management system. I see how antiquated medication management is for a personal standpoint. The fact that medication management for 90% of people is just having that little box that's Sunday to Saturday. Then you just put them in there at the beginning of the week and then you just pick out which ones. Well, that doesn't help with people that have to take them different times of days, different dosages each day, things like that. So it's going to be a very comprehensive medication management system. And I'll get into more
Amazing.
detail once we figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking if you could mention, maybe for the folks that don't know us really well, if you could just mention what exactly is the Volvox community?
Yeah. So the Volvox community is different from Volvox company. There's two entities here. The community is a learning community with its passion being contributing towards open source software in order to learn and teach. So most people I found when I was mentoring people are learners by doing. So I was never a huge believer in just throwing in lectures or things like that. So I came up with an idea that let's come up with a bunch of open source program ideas, add in a bunch of issues ranging from no skill level to expert skill level.
Mhm.
And people can pick and choose what they want to do. And they can come to the community for guidance or reviews or support. And we can learn together and have an actual product that's on a market that actual people are using. So that's the community part of it. And that was founded in 2018. I just saw a post on Reddit and I just decided to make my own community. And then Volvox company is where we're going to be releasing products for the community, paid and free products. But all the products in the Volvox community are free and open source.
Amazing. And again, by the way, we are going to link everything in the description box so you can find us on Discord. There will be a link, of course, our website and all our social media, as well as the projects that we are going to talk about right now. So you mentioned Sobers, you mentioned Decision Jar. Can you demo this project a little bit?
Sobers is a companion app for people in sobriety and recovery. It's dear to my heart because I am actually in sobriety myself. And it's meant to I saw there was a huge lapse in all of the programs that people were using to track their sobriety and things like that. So I just, decided to make my own and introduce the community to it. I'm spinning it up right now. But here's some screenshots of it. It allows you to do a really easy tracking. We have a really cool system with journey tracking. So you can actually see your milestones. So you have 60-day sobriety, 30-day sobriety, 24 hours, 1 year, et cetera, all the standard milestones that you'd have in a recovery platform, as well as if you have a slip up, you can log your slip up or a relapse, most people call it. And what will be shown is it'll reset your time, but it's graceful. So it's, still showing you that you can still do this and you can still continue and it's not the end of the world, but that you can see your journey the whole way. You'll be able to see in the journey screen, like when you had slip ups, when how long you were before slip up, how long after, things like that. So it's trying to keep it completely transparent with slip ups between you and your sponsor, because the other big fact section of this is you can connect with your sponsor, and with that, your sponsor can assign you tasks and also view your journey and your timeline, as well as if you're in a 12-step program, you don't have to be. You can turn the 12-step program part off. But if you are, you can log when you complete those steps with notes and everything like that. And then your sponsor can also assign you tasks to do with an optional due date and say, hey, call me when you get to the meeting or after the meeting tonight. And that could be a task they could assign to you, and then it'll show up in your task panel. And yeah, you could, and you'll be able to answer that. So let me bring this up here.
Mhm.
Can you see it all right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my actual days. I am 107 days sober, and I've saved almost $1,500, which is incredible to see.
Congratulations. Bravo.
Thank you. Yeah, so I just have myself as a sponsee, but you would generally have your sponsees or sponsor hooked up here, and there would be your actual sponsee sponsor, and they can assign you tasks. So, for example, if I go into tasks, I can create a new task for myself, but it's not really me. It's a different account. I should have changed the name. It could be about a specific step or no step at all. If you select a step, we have some templates for you that you can select from. So if I select step one, it has stuff about step one, and then you can assign the tasks like call me after meeting. You could have a description, all this good stuff. You could set a due date. If it's after the meeting, you probably want to do by tomorrow. So you can assign tasks to people, and then yeah, you can from here, you can, if you're on the sponsor side, if you're on the sponsee side of things, you'll see the task here. And so see, I assigned this one, but it's overdue. I didn't do it myself. So it allows you to kind of have a place where you can store your tasks and tasks that you assigned.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's mainly, we have some ideas coming up soon. We're going to have a more comprehensive networking system where instead of just sharing an invite code, you will be able to connect with them a lot easier through sharing like a text message deep link, or be able to find sponsors. We're gonna have a whole finding and community part of this thing with messaging, finding a sponsor for yourself or finding sponsees if you want to be a sponsor, and connecting with people. So we're gonna add that into the year. That's gonna be the next big feature for it.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's open source, right?
All open source, right on GitHub. Yep, all
Perfect.
open source.
And again, for the folks that are watching us right now, it's available both Android and iOS. So go
Yep,
check
and
that
web,
out.
yep, and it's on web, yeah. Sobers.app, which has a nice little marketing landing page, which we need for Decision Jar, which I have made, I just haven't published it yet. But here's a nice little landing page, and then you can, download for free, or you can go to the web app version of it. So you don't even need an iPhone or Android, but it is available on both, yes.
Great. And since you mentioned Decision Jar, do you want to go on that?
Yeah, so Decision Jar, let me launch that. So Decision Jar is just a fun little app for when you can't decide what you want to do for something. So if you can't decide what you want for dinner, or you can't decide what type of movie you want to watch, or even a specific movie, or you can't decide what game you want to play tonight, you can input all of your ideas, and with the help of AI, if you want AI help ideas as well, you can input them all into a jar, and you shake the jar, and then it pops out what idea you have. And there's some cool stuff like making it so that after you pull it, it could remove it from the jar so you don't get that ever again. And you could have it so you can veto things. So you could do like one veto. So if you pull something, you're like, that's not, I wasn't 100% on that one. You could veto that one and then get to go to the next one. And you can also set expirations for when you pull something before you can pull it again. It has ads on it. Because this is going to be this is the first product from Volvox, the company, and it has ads on it, as well as there's a premium feature which removes ads and gives you more AI stuff and gives you more jar space, as well as you can have an infinite amount of jars, which you'll see here in a second. Okay, not sure if I'm sold on the logo yet. I just threw this into Nano Banana and got this, but we'll see.
It is pretty nice.
It's better than the old one I had. I can tell you that. Alright, so here we can see test mode with the ads. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this just so we don't have to see this. Actually, I'm just gonna give myself premium right now. I'm gonna set myself to premium. Okay, so we have light and dark mode, as I support on all apps. All things I'll ever be involved with will definitely have a light and dark mode. There's no bigger turn off to me than when a site doesn't have a dark mode.
Yeah.
And so you can go to we have no jars created right now, so we can create one or click in the center. Has some suggestions, dinner spots, movies to watch, things like that. I like the chore one the best because, no one wants to do chores. So it's kind of like not what you want to do, but just kind of forcing you to do it because it pulled it. So we can go here, we can add in our own ideas or we can generate some AI ideas. And so here it came up with some AI ideas. For most things you can use AI ideas, chore roulette, probably not because it doesn't know that you have to clean out the fridge or it doesn't know you have to vacuum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's just select a couple here. We'll just select a number of them. We'll create a jar with 7 options. So here we have the chore roulette with all 7 options that we had. Again, here you can add more ideas. You can add more ideas here. You can get more ideas if you want to get even more AI ideas. Clean out the litter box, things like that. Add the selected. Here are the settings I was speaking of. Remove after pick. So with chores, you probably do want to remove it after the pick.
Yeah.
Cooldown based on how long until you can pull it again. But vetoes, I'm going to change down to 0 because actually, no, I'll give it 1 veto. Reason being is because maybe you're really not feeling that one chore, so you can veto it. Then you have to do the next one. And
That's
you
a
can
nice
shake.
feature.
Yeah, thank you. That was something that I thought of when I was actually thinking about doing this for chores. So then you can shake your phone to pick, or you can just click shake. You get a little shake and some sound. And then, of course, it picked idea 8, which is let's veto this one. We'll veto that one. And then you shake the device again to pick. You can't shake the device on this. So we're going to just have to go back. But on your phone, you can shake the device, take out the trash. Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah,
So
that's an easy one.
yeah, then you can go and take out the trash. You got a history here, so you can see, if you forgot whatever, you can see what we vetoed idea 8, so we might want to come back and visit this later. And then just some fun little stats and things like that. How many you've done, time you've saved. This is just based on how long I thought that thinking of an idea would take, which just could be a lot longer for most people.
Yeah, I think stuff like picking the food or what am I going to eat tonight, I think these are stuff that takes a lot of time.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So that could take way over 12 minutes. But yeah, that's this app. It's available on iOS and Android as well as web as well. We just got approved for iOS today. You can search for it. We're going to be adding it to the website soon. I'll probably get to that today or tomorrow. I'm going to write a blog post and put it on the website. Then yeah, we'll be fully set up with Decision Jar.
Perfect. And as I said earlier, we are going to link everything in the description box so you don't actually have to search a lot.
You don't have to remember anything. We will provide everything. You don't need to remember a single thing.
Yep. And you mentioned that you have more plans to build more stuff. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So one idea that I'm flirting with a couple ideas right now on what's going to be the actual next project. I've been flirting with a medication management system where it's going to be a comprehensive system for locking your medication, telling you when to take it, telling you things like, oh, these 2 medications may have interactions together. I'm going to have it so you can input how you're feeling. And if a side effect of one of the medications you're taking is that feeling, then it'll say, hey, maybe consult with your doctor about this because you are experiencing a side effect of this medication. Because I've learned that you should always question what doctors prescribe you, especially with longer term medications like psychotic medications and things like that. I've had experience before where I was actually been overdosed in the hospital 2 different times in 2 different states because the doctors overdosed me on medication.
I'm sorry to
And
hear that.
yeah, it was crazy. So I learned from that. So if you guys are learning anything from this, please learn that. Check what your doctors give you or are going to trying to give you, and do your own research because it's very important. They could literally kill you. So I ended up in ICU both times, and I was intubated, and it was crazy.
Okay, yeah,
That's where that sparks
crazy.
from. Social media manager, not so much scheduled posting, but to have all of your social inbox one page, so you could see like, I need to reply to this comment on Reddit. I have to reply to this thing on X. I have to re-follow someone on Facebook, things like that. So just to keep everything consolidated into one platform, because I'm actually noticing that with working with you is like, I'll get notifications like, reply to this on Reddit and stuff like that. I would like a place to see all of the stuff that we have all together.
Yeah.
Like see every single post in chronological order, see comments, all this stuff. So that's another idea that I'm kind of messing with, but I haven't decided on fully anything yet.
Yeah, and that's something that I will definitely use.
Yeah, I don't know if it exists yet or not, but I feel like if it doesn't, I'll definitely do that.
I think that for some scheduling tools, like social media scheduling tools, they also provide that. but I don't think that it includes Reddit. So if you could do something that includes Reddit, I think that would be a nice additional feature.
Yeah, because Reddit is so big for advertising because, I'm subscribed to a lot of smaller subreddits like Claude AI and Expo and things like this, and people are always, posting their projects on there and stuff, and I wanna start doing that. But you need to grow your Reddit following first, so.
Yeah. And let's change gears a little bit. I would like to talk a little bit about tech, coding, AI. And my first question is, what tools are you using to build all these apps?
So I pretty much look at every tool. I very much subscribe to latest and greatest. I'm always doing research on what the best thing to use is. Currently, I'm using Claude Code, the $200 max subscription. It's been fundamental to my programming, workflow. I no longer have to write code. I pretty much just think of myself as an AI orchestrator. It helps a lot that I do know the code and I do know how to write code and I do know how to debug and things like that. But not having to do the nitty gritty and kind of being able to speak to it from a high level and it output the low level stuff has been huge, has been such a big factor for me. I've always thought that I was a really good teacher and a good coach. So this is perfect for me because I'm able to kind of teach and coach my own tools, do what I want. Yeah. So I've always, I'm really liking it. So the trend of how AI is going right now. I use Cursor. I don't really use the AI on it that much, but I do use it as an IDE. I do experiment with a bunch of different Claude Code agents, such as there's an app called Run Maestro, which I've been using. There's another one called Conductor and another one called Automaker. And these are all kind of just UIs placed on top of Claude Code that help it create agentic workflows. So they've been really interesting to me. And I've been involved in these communities recently and been helping them to grow it and things like that.
Nice. I didn't know that. So would you suggest that people, the ones that are watching us right now, they should focus more on Cloud Code, or do you think they should make their own research, or I don't know, something else?
You can do your own research. I suggest everyone does their own research for everything. I can tell you I do a ton of research. Like I read hours of articles a day and or posts and things like that. And I can tell you confidently that Claude Code is at the top right now for sure. Now that could change literally right after this video. So you definitely want to keep up to date yourself as well. But Claude Code's constantly upgrading. I was just reading the release notes. They just came out 3 new versions since I used it last night. And I was reading the release notes. Like they're iterating so quickly. As well as I do want to shout out Warp. I do use Warp as a my terminal.
Mm-hmm.
It's an AI terminal, and I don't really even use the AI features that much. Sometimes I do, but it's just a beautiful terminal that really handles large amounts of data really well. It never lags or anything like that. It has color-coded tooltips and things like that, so I'm able to kind of, when I'm working on multiple projects at once or multiple work trees, I can color coordinate and kind of keep myself organized. So I really have been liking Warp a lot.
Nice. Maybe for the people that are watching us right now, comment below what is your favorite IDE and what are you using for coding these days. Nice. And for the people that are starting right now and probably they are a bit confused of if they should start coding or if they should start vibe coding or what to do, what would you suggest to them?
I would suggest that you start with vibe coding and find what you want to program. If you want to be a web designer, if you want to be into mobile, if you want to be into back end, if you want to be into front end, if you want to be into just database stuff, I'd start with vibe coding if you have no experience whatsoever, because you want to see where you want to take your talents, right? There's so many different avenues you can take, and vibe coding will help you explore those really quickly. Now, after you vibe code for a little bit and you figure out what avenue you want to go, then I'd recommend doing research and learning yourself. Don't just vibe code your way through existence, because I'm telling you right now, that's not going to be a sustainable future. I'm already feel bad for the juniors in my field because I have no use for juniors anymore. I just pawn off all the junior level stuff to AI agents now.
Yeah.
I feel really bad with the guys with 5 years or less experience. And so you want to make sure that you differentiate yourself. Don't just vibe code, but learn what you want to niche in. Like, for example, I think that my niche is CI/CD. That's like a very niche thing of mine. And I always bring that up in every interview or every job I do. I always end up doing the CI/CD because I love it and I'm really, really talented in it. And I find that it helps me land a lot of positions and things like that, having a real nice niche. But you're not gonna be able to find that if you're just vibe coding strictly.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a good tip. And As we are coming to an end of this conversation, do you have any other tips for new people in the tech community in general?
Get involved, do something like join our community and start saying, "Hey, what's up?" We have so many people that are extremely valuable to the software development space. We have people that are top engineers at NVIDIA, all the way to people who have been owning their own business for the past 20 years, to people who are just, grinding a job, or to people that aren't even in programming. They could be in a completely different field as their day job, but could be learning as well. So you never know who you're going to connect with. And we've been trying to foster a really nice, welcoming community, and I think we're thriving in that.
Yeah. That's an excellent tip, and thank you so much for that. Do you have any closing thoughts or something else that you would like to share with our community?
I hope we continue to grow, and I hope to hear from all of you guys soon and see what other interviews that area sparks up. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see all the stuff you guys are building.
Yes, I'm excited for that too. We already have a few interviews, but more are coming. So stay tuned, everyone. We are going to have some amazing things. Make sure to follow us also on social media and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Bill, for doing this interview with me. I will follow your journey very closely since I am here. I am at Volvox, but thank you very much for this interview.
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing what you build. You've been doing amazing so far.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Check out the description box for all the links, and see you soon.